My life is here, my friends are here.
Yeah, we know that, Max.
Living on my own over the past 3 years could only be described as falling with style. I've been in the air for sure, making it look cool, having moments of fulfillment, but I don't know how much farther I can fall before I just fucking... I've been broke as a motherfucking joke, struggling to keep a motherfucking job. I've pretty much been surviving off of plasma donations and handouts from my mom. As much as I tried to go against God, it's time for me to give up my housing and move on down to Georgia where my family's at. It's really important for me to be making this video so that I can affirm that there are indeed blessings in this bullshit. If we can learn to assign positive value to challenging situations, then we become a lot better equipped to actually move through them and get to the other side with something meaningful. It's time for a big reset. I know y'all gonna fucking miss me. I'ma still be here though, like here on YouTube. Subscribe.
Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back, telling me.
I was born and raised in Southeast Portland. Single mom, grandma, auntie, big sister, and our dogs. I got to play all the video games I wanted. I got to have an iPhone as a kid, like where I learned to... We moved a few different times that I can remember. I think I was about 10 years old when we finally settled. And it was around this time that I made my first group of friends. I didn't really fit in with them, but they let me hang at the cost of being the butt of the joke. All the boys in my grade were interested in like wrestling and basketball, girls, and that just didn't really resonate with me. It was more important for me to have friends and to be popular than it was to be myself. I didn't even know how to fucking do that yet. I learned how to play a caricature of myself that other people would want to be around more.
They make me look totally stiff and humorless.
Stoner, fuckboy, I don't give a fuck type. I give so many fucks, but I learned very quickly that the more fucks you give, the more no one gives a fuck about you. That's not true, but as a 10, 11, 12-year-old, that's what I learned from my peers. Eventually, I actually made it in with the populars. Kinda. I ended up wilding out, drinking, smoking, having a lot of sex. It went from doing what I can to get invited to the party on the weekends to partying every day during school hours. Grades are dropping. I was down bad, but you couldn't have told me that when I was a teenager, cause fuck you. I was acting like my shit did not stink, and eventually it caught up to me. I got expelled from Centennial High School for bringing weed on campus. Now, don't get me started on the way they lied on my report so that I would get actual like criminal charges. That's gonna be a different video, maybe.
When we look back, then we see that God had a plan.
So this was my first big reset. The first time I felt challenged to find the blessing in the bullshit. Getting expelled from Centennial led to me eventually losing that group of friends that I had spent so many years infiltrating. Now that I'm not at the school, I'm missing the invites to the party, I'm missing the invites to the after school sessions, kickbacks, and things like that.
Get back in here and love me!
Maybe they were just proximity friends. Or maybe it's because I that dude's at the tail end of a drinking party. Allegedly.
You can't prove anything.
I started at a new school, Rosemary Anderson, an alternative private program empowering young people who are in the process of or have already fallen through the cracks. Going to that school had me learning how to meditate and be mindful. I learned how to build a resume. They got me in the workforce, student council president, and even got to speak at graduation. I actually graduated early. Crazy, because I literally accepted myself to be a high school dropout the moment I got expelled from Centennial. I also ended up making a whole new group of friends that I could actually be myself around. I got to start a really early career in youth development. The seed was planted at Rosemary Anderson. I never would have went to Rosemary Anderson if I didn't get expelled. You see where I'm going with this? It was a big ass blessing in the bullshit of getting expelled. Take notes, there will be a quiz later.
Every step forward will always be a step closer to home.
My first time moving out of my mom's place, I rented a house in the J District with one of my best friends at the time. It was really exciting to have this sense of freedom away from my family home, but I also recognized that it was difficult. Survival was a brand new idea in my head that I never really had to fully engage with. I had everything taken care of for me. All the food paid for, Wi-Fi, TV, video games paid for, everything. And any money that I was making would just go directly into whatever the fuck I would want it to go into. More often than not, I was investing in my studio. I was also buying hella weed, but that's neither here nor there. We had a good thing going in the J District. Unfortunately, our landlord decided to sell the house while we were still living there. Fun fact, a few months after the house was supposedly sold and we moved out, I then seen that same house on Zillow and my room was available. Anyways, landlord says he's selling the house. We gotta get the fuck out. So boom, back at my mom's. A little bit later, I had the opportunity to move in with a friend from my old school, Centennial. So I packed up my shit, moved on into her apartment. I'm a little nervous just to see how this is gonna go, but I'm like, hey, this is my buddy. Damn near like family, even though we hooked up a couple times. A couple days into staying with, fuck, I gotta give her a name for this story. Trina. Yeah, let's call her Trina. That's a cute name. Hopefully I fucking remember it. At the same time I move in with Trina, I'm also starting to build this connection with the girl named Sam. Okay. I just want to let you know, I'm like building this thing with this girl. We're gonna link up. I want to invite her back if things go well. Trina wasn't going for it.
My house, my rules. I don't know this bitch. I don't trust this bitch.
I'm about to be paying rent in this bitch. I'm gonna bring over whoever the fuck I want. Fuck you talk about?
Then you can just find all of your shit tossed outside over the balcony.
So I had my mom come to my rescue, packed up all my shit, back to mom's house. Again.
Congratulations. You played yourself. My
next attempt at leaving my mom's house was actually a joint attempt with Sam. I move out to Beaverton, still working in the Portlandy, Gresham-y area. I have to hop on the bus 2.5 hours to get to work every day.
1 out of 10, don't recommend.
I know the idea of living with a partner sounds super exciting and cute and cozy. You better make sure that this is somebody who you really relate to, who you can really thrive with. Because our relationship hadn't got to that point, I wasn't right for her, she wasn't right for me, the relationship just ended. We still had a couple months on the lease, so we just had to spend that time coexisting, watching TV on the same couch, sleeping in the same bed. Shorty put a line of pillows in between us in the bed. Like, I get it, you need your space, but that was kind of hurtful. My mom and my grandma moved away to Atlanta. My sister Bree joined them. She needed a big reset too. There was no longer a home base for me to just go to when shit doesn't work out. I had to figure something out, and I ended up renting another house with a couple roommates who, it was just a bad choice. I'm not gonna get any more into that situation. It was just a bad choice. It was a bad choice. Ooh, it was so bad. But again, we don't assign negative value to challenging situations because it's a blessing in that bullshit. I can't do this roommate thing. There's so many factors. I'm forced to get along with people. I'm gonna live how I wanna live. I'm gonna do what I wanna do. You really can't do that when you have roommates. You're gonna piss people off. It's not gonna work. So I decided I'm gonna put my manifestation skills, abilities, powers to the test. I was barely making enough money to be able to survive in a house where the rent was split 3 ways. I knew what I needed was to live alone. How the fuck could I afford to live alone when I could barely afford to live with 2 other people? Manifestation, bitch, that's how.
1 bedroom is all I need. As long as it's weed free, it belongs to me.
I started making more money, found an opening, $925 for a 1 bedroom. Yes, it's in the hood. Yes, it's ghetto as fuck, but it's a space of my own. The Malik Ray Sean Show, motherfucker, welcome.
That makes sense.
I'd never been more proud of myself. Speaking at graduation, didn't hold a candle. Making my first album years ago that never came out, didn't hold a candle. Tricking my peers into thinking I was straight, didn't even hold a candle, but that's an honorable mention. You would think I have the whole world in my palm in that era. Well, things aren't always as they seem, and to keep it a buck, I've been on a downward spiral ever since I moved in here. I just really miss my family, and it kind of felt like life took them from me. I've been struggling without them. It's not enough for me to only see them once or twice a year. Even in a room full of my friends, I feel completely alone. It doesn't matter who I'm hanging out with, who I'm dating, who I'm making beats for. I feel so alone, and it's not good for me. That's what drives me to have an even more abusive relationship with cannabis, which I've spoken about on the channel before. Click right here if you give a fuck. Check it out, come back, see how much better I am at making videos now. I have to link my abusive relationship with cannabis to my inability to keep a job.
You're fired!
I keep myself in this lower state of doubt and fear and hyper comfort. It's okay to do things that you know are comfortable, but when all you allow yourself to do is what's comfortable, that's not healthy. So I've been living on my own for almost 3 years now, but it's never really felt like home. Home is where the love is. It's not like I don't have love out here, but I got mama's love in Georgia. Fuck I'm doing out here.
No matter how filthy something gets, you can always clean it right up.
At this point in my life, I'm pretty much a damsel in distress. I'm talking Princess Zelda, Lois Lane, Money Mike from Friday. It's my sister Bree. I opened up to her about how I've been feeling and the hopelessness, the sorrow, the grief. And she pretty much told me,
don't worry, I got you.
Huh?
I'm finna pull up on you in Portland and I'm bringing you home.
I was speechless. My emotions started to bubble. A river of tears bled down my cheek as anxiety and hopelessness gave way to warmth and gratitude. Bree helped me realize that it's okay to let go. The alternative would have been losing my housing, living in a shelter, finding some job where I can bust my ass to work back up to where I was just so I can feel the same exact sense of loneliness and grief. Everything in my life is conspiring to bring me back to my family, and I can't ignore that. I would be so foolish to miss that opportunity because I'm too prideful to let go of my idea of where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing. We don't always know best, and I feel blessed that I'm able to have a relationship with a higher power so that I know I'm not just surrendering to nothing. There is a divine design at play, and that phone call with Big Sis, that was divine intervention. I was at my lowest fucking point when I got that phone call. Rock, meat, bottom. My relationship with spirit, God, the universe, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is the only thing I have left to guide me through the tail end of my crash out era. Even though I'm afraid to let go of my life in Portland, I'm even more excited to start over in Atlanta. Boy, I can't tell you how much I miss mom's cooking. Cinnamon rolls on Christmas. She be throwing down, my nigga. If mom's cooking, it's on fire. I had a girl get mad at me once because she offered to make me collars, and I was like, I really love my moms, so they better be pretty fucking good or else I'm really not gonna like them. I'm so excited to be closer to my grandma and her silliness. She is so youthful and fun.
I'm Carol Ann, and I'm the cutest grandma in the world.
And I would also really love to start helping out in their garden. I might have a little bit of a green thumb, not just for cannabis. Moving to Atlanta is gonna help me fulfill a lifelong dream of mine of creating content with my big sister. She is extremely talented, creative, intuitive, and intelligent. No one gets my sense of humor quite like she does.
Where did that come from?
Little sister Jayla and big brother Shad also live out in Atlanta. I also miss my dogs, man. Tell me you're a dog person without telling me you're a fucking dog person. I also think it'll be really nice to just take a walk around the block and not have to walk through a graveyard full of... And can we just talk about how beautiful the weather is in Atlanta? Here in Portland, overcast, mid weather. My melanin needs the sun. Okay, I don't want to be light skinned. Speaking of melanin, can you guess what percentage of Portland's population is African American? Less than 6%. Can you guess what percentage of Atlanta's population is African American? 47%! If you know me, you know how I feel about the number 47. And for those of you who don't know me, let me explain. There are different points in your body that relate to different energies. The fourth chakra up from the root chakra is the heart chakra, love and healing. Go up 3 more points to 7, that's the crown chakra, spirituality. When a 47 pops up somewhere unexpected, it's pretty much just a reminder to try to find a balance between moving from my heart and moving from my spirit. I'm on the path, or I need to reroute quickly to get back on the path. Something's happening here. Everyone and they mama has been telling me that if you are an artist, musician, storyteller, fashion person, model, whatever it is, Atlanta is the motherfucking place to be. Or at least one of them. The arts are pretty much my entire personality at this point. Who knows, maybe me moving to Atlanta will allow me to brush shoulders with somebody who can help me get a foot in the door. I really want to get into film. I know Tyler Perry Studios out there in Atlanta. I'm not a huge Tyler Perry fan, but...
Say something, mister. I want you to say something. Say something. Snatch away from me. I'm gonna punch you.
Without the weight of the entire world on my fucking shoulders every month, I'll be able to find a much better balance between work, content creation, and time with my family.
I made my shit way too tight and it hurts so bad. Hold on.
And don't let me forget, there are no dispensaries in Atlanta. I've been trying to quit for years. I use the word tryna lightly. I've gotten a bit of a head start. My energy's through the roof. I can see the sparkle in my eyes. I feel more control over my voice when I sing. Look, watch this. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I have faith that this big reset in my Max Keeble era is gonna get me much closer to becoming the best me I can be. You know how they say let go and let God? Well, I'm finna let go of everything. Weed, sex, porn, video games, cartoons, sugar, caffeine, white people.
Ain't no reason to call a nigga white.
In all seriousness, I will be taking a year-long vow of celibacy and almost sobriety. I have a really healthy relationship with psychedelics, and I'm gonna continue to honor and explore that. My goal in this vow of celibacy and sobriety is to replace instead of quit. When you give something up, that is now empty space. And if that empty space isn't filled with something intentionally, then you might just find yourself taking that same thing that you cut out and putting it right back because you know it fits perfect. So instead of rolling me up a spliff, I'll just work on my next video. Instead of having sex, or I'll just exercise, get some fresh air. Instead of seeking attention from my peers, I'll spend time with my family, watching movies, playing video games, whatever. It won't be easy, but I do believe it to be necessary to my overall growth and well-being. Moving clear across the country to start a new life is scary, but I know God got me. I know my family's got me. And I know that as long as my spirit is in the right place and I got that sparkle in my eye, I got me too.
I say so long, farewell to you, my friends.
Now let me speak directly to my Portland community. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for seeing me as I am. Thank you for encouraging me to be great. And thank you for rocking with me as I fall with style. I'm someone who deeply values friendship, companionship, loyalty, and all of those things. Me moving away isn't me moving out of your lives. I love you all way too much to be done with you. Y'all are stuck with me until further notice. There's one person that I want to address by name, and that is my Tia Veto. Gosh darn it. When I first moved into this apartment on my own, my family's in Atlanta, I didn't feel like I had any community. That's when I met my Tia Veto. She was my supervisor at the time and made me feel as if I was a part of her family. This woman has gone above and beyond for me in ways that are far outside of the job description, just because she cares. And with my support system having moved away from me, I needed that more than anything. And as I've been crashing out, it has been her words of encouragement and empowerment and love that have really helped me to get through and to even stay this long in Portland. She helped me fight for that just by speaking life into me, loving me, and encouraging me. Tia, thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. And thank you for becoming a part of my family. I will always cherish the time that we got to spend together. You a real one. So Portland, I just got one last thing to say to y'all. I love you. I thank you. I'll miss you, kinda. And don't miss me too much. I'll be right back. Did I shave good enough? Oh, well. Oh, I didn't even mention the fact that I'm moving. I'm moving to Georgia. No, don't introduce it like that. Oh, I gotta get a little thing for the thumbnail. I totally forgot. Every time I try to go, something keeps pulling me back, I moved into a house in the day. Let's help. Help. Ooh, where'd my little charm go? There you are. How long have you been hiding back there? Shit. Oh, my fucking do-rag is crooked. Come on, man. Get it together. Ooh, and put that clip from Gerard saying that in there, because that's a bar when he said it. I'm not positive how YouTube in-video links work, but it's right there. Excuse me. Somewhere in between my relationship with oh, I said her name, fuck. The rent was split. I'm so cute. I should start telling myself that more. I always tell people to tell themselves, but maybe I need to be giving myself those same affirmations as well. Here, eventually. Dude, I gotta poop. I literally have to poop, but I don't want to. When you see motherfuckers walking around like, I'm not wearing pants right now, I can't really show you.